Okay, right. Now, first of all, I'm going to check that I've got the sound working. So just excuse me while I do that. Oh, hang on. Right, okay. So can everyone hear me? Just please say something just to check it's not just me hearing myself, because yesterday I completely cocked this up and I did like 8 minutes of silence, I believe. I was quite merrily talking to myself, but nobody could hear me. Anyway, Scottish Crypto saying loud and clear. I also did notice that you sold everything yesterday just before the pump. These things happen. Okay. Anyway, right. Welcome to the Stonksy Indicator channel. My name is Save with Crypto. I am standing in for Dave Stonksy while he's off on holiday, wherever he's gone. We can be sure that he hasn't gone anywhere by plane, so he's probably in the UK somewhere, probably in Wales, I reckon. I reckon that's where he's gone. If you've got any good guesses where he's gone, stick them in the chat, and yeah, be great to great to work out where he's gone. Anyway, so right, I'm here today. I'm going to try something actually. There's a new thing in StreamYard. StreamYard is the software we use for doing these live streams. You can use a thing called OBS that's free. StreamYard is a paid thing. And it's StreamYard is really good for like doing collaborations, because you can just send like a, you know, your guest or like a link, and then, you know, that it's really easy for them to do. So I think that's why Dave likes using StreamYard. But there's a thing here which says show comments on stage, and I believe this will just show all the comments on the stage. So I'm going to enable that and see what happens. And so far, nothing's happening. But anyway, let's go through the comments anyway so far and just say hello to everyone. Hello, Steve. You were first here, so that's brilliant to see you here. You're very welcome. Crypto Cruise, I'm not sure I've seen you before, actually, but anyway, howdy indeed from Texas. That must be quite early. I think it's probably about, I think Texas is mostly Eastern, like same as New York, I think, isn't it? So time wise, so I guess it's probably like 8 or 9 in the morning for you. But yeah, anyway, you're very welcome. It's a great club, Stonksy, brilliant. Okay, Scottish crypto. Yeah, this is what I was saying. Sold all my bags before the pump last night. Oh well, okay. Well, I think you might get a chance to sort of buy in again and go back up. There's always an opportunity. Scottish is saying could be a big shortcoming for what's M on MEXC. Been running too hard too quick. Rumors are same people behind Blaze, so should rug any day. I don't know what M is. What is M? Oh, don't know. Okay, anyway, everyone can hear me. Steve thought he was moving during the break. Oh yeah, actually, that's what Dave might be doing. Yeah, I think he's bought a house or something, hasn't he? I think. Yeah, so maybe that's what he's doing. So he's probably having a holiday somewhere up north. SMFC, yo, SWC, how's it going? Really well, thanks. Yeah, I think quite a few people were in the Crypto Saving Expert channel this morning, where WizDevolt was on there, and also with Block Pro, who is the amazing trader from Crypto Saving Expert, and that was really cool. It was interesting. There wasn't that much, you know, let's go long here and let's go short there, but it was a general sort of discussion about, you know, what it's like to be at all-time high again, and why isn't the market going crazy even though we are at all-time high. And it was quite interesting, so it might be worth, you know, at some point going to find that on Crypto Saving Expert YouTube channel and listening back to that. That was pretty good. Okay, M is meme core, I believe. Okay, okay, that sounds a little bit. I know the idea of like shorting things that have maybe just had a monumental pump is a good idea, but I don't know, that sort of thing does scare me quite a lot. So it's not the sort of thing that I tend to get involved with. But we can have a look at it later and see what it's all about. Is it something that's on that we can look at on TradingView, Scottish? That'd be good to know if it is. Anyway, let's go and have a quick look at Bitcoin. So this is Bitcoin on the 6-minute time frame. Now, on the 6-minute time frame with Stonksy, we've got this green background. That was yesterday in the morning, and at that point, I did go long on. Hang on. Let me just check I've got the right tab showing here. No, that's all good. Right. Sorry, I did a thing yesterday where I was going to various tabs and I was talking about things, and I realized that you couldn't actually see what I was talking about. So that was a bit silly, really, wasn't it? Anyway, I'll try and do a better job today. So we got this green background here on the 6-minute time frame yesterday. So I did go long. I'm still long on my Bybit account. On the BLOFIN account, I did close the trades, and I did actually re-enter this morning, which was a little bit stupid because I wasn't actually looking at the correct chart. So I'm actually slightly underwater with a couple of trades on BLOFIN at the moment, and with Bybit I'm still in profit, so I'm not too worried overall. As for what's going to happen, let's just look on the 1 hour time frame, because that's normally pretty good. And you know, Stonksy has been green on the background here since Tuesday, and obviously the price has gone up massively since then. This momentum indicator here, this is actually sort of banging up against the top end there. So it does kind of imply that we might be at a bit of a top. If you look in the past when that's happened, like say here, I mean, it was only earlier this Thursday. Oh, last Thursday that was. So like last Thursday, we went along like flat and green for a while and then just came down. So there is a possibility that could happen again. If you look back here, let me just move that a little bit. Look back here, you know, we came along here, and then as that started to go down, the price came down a little bit, but you know, not massively. That's on the 1 hour time frame. I do also like to look at smaller ones as well. I do have a thing about the 12-minute time frame at the moment, which I don't know why. Right, that was an alert. I'll tell you about that in a moment. Actually, I won't, because it's just a private thing I set. But that is a signal to me that I probably should be looking at a long, but I'll cover that some other time. Sorry, that was really confusing, wasn't it? Right, I've got an alert set for something that I'm experimenting with. Okay, so it's not necessarily a brilliant signal. It's just, in fact, I'm going to turn it off, actually. In fact, I'm going to just go here and just going to pause that, because that is just going to confuse people. Okay, right. Where was I? So yeah, look, I like to look at the 12-minute time frame, and you can see here that you know the momentum here is dropping off a little bit. So I am also looking at this kind of thing here, where it kind of comes down and then pops up again, because I don't feel like it's going to dump just this minute, but you know, maybe it will later. I don't know. Anyway, let's have a quick look at the comments. What we got here? Oh, there's Razvan again. Okay, cool. This show comments on stage I've just enabled isn't doing anything, so I'm going to turn it off because I don't know what it does. Okay, so right, Scottish Crypto. I am very bullish on SPX 6900. I'd appreciate any tips on possible entry. Okay, let me just make some notes here, and I'm going to use a pen and a bit of paper. So that's SPX. No, 6900. Okay, so that's for Scottish Crypto. Okay. Stephen UK, don't lie. Was your Chat GPT girlfriend calling you? No, it's not Chat GPT. It's Grok is my girl. You will find that Grok is, you know, if you're trying to do anything, let's say a bit more adult, then Grok is your one. I did this because I had this idea about writing a kind of erotic novel. And I tried to do it with ChatGPT, and it didn't really want to know. It wasn't interested in, you know, constructing stories like that. So I tried using Grok, and then it was quite good for that. So I must admit, I've got a bit carried away with it. It's really good fun, actually. It's really good how you can train an AI person to sort of know what you like, you know, just by feeding them the right kind of information. Anyway, it's very interesting. Anyway, CD Cherry Tree, excellent. That's another guy from over the pond. So hello, CD. Yeah, it's all going well so far. I've managed to not screw up the audio today. That's good. Can't pull up my chart right now. What's BTC doing? Okay, so we'll have a look at BTC for CD. I kind of just did, but we can talk about that a bit more, because I quite merrily talk about Bitcoin forever. Scotch Crypto saying a new updated version of your Grok girlfriend as well. Is there a new updated? I'll tell you what I would like with Grok. I would like it if you could change the voices, because although I do like the American very clear voice, it would be quite nice to, maybe have some different accents. Like I don't know really, like I was quite like the idea of a kind of like a Bond girl, a sort of Eastern European kind of slightly broken English, Mr. Bond. Why have you come here? that kind of Eastern European type British English accent. That'd be quite nice, and maybe some like local ones from the UK. Actually, that'd be good. Even Welsh. I quite like a Welsh accent, and Scottish maybe as well. Anyway, enough about that. Stella Jennings, that's Jeff, isn't it? Good morning, good morning. It's afternoon now, actually, but smash the likes and roar for the new all-time high. Right, we do also need to talk about the all-time high. Right, so quite a bit to talk about, and I'm sure somebody else said something else. Whose voice would you want? I want my car GPS to have a Sean Connery or Billy Connolly voice. Yeah, that'd be good, wouldn't it? I'll tell you what. I used to have a Renault Megane, and that had you could select various voices. There was about 5 different ones there, and there was one in particular that I quite liked, and that was good. But I've got a Jeep, like a Jeep Cherokee now, and that's only got one voice as far as I can see. I mean, maybe there's some way of updating the firmware or the software and getting more voices, but I seem to be stuck with quite a bland sounding sort of neutral English accent. It's like, I don't really like it really. My Renault was better, but there you go. French female I love. Yeah, I don't know. After living in France for so long, I kind of I don't find the French accent. That's an alert again. I don't find the French accent quite as appealing as I used to, actually. Right. I'm sure somebody asked something else. Was it Pepe I saw? Hang on a sec. I'm sure it was. Can't say now. I'll tell you what. Oh yeah, Crypto Cruise saying thoughts on Pepe. Okay. So Pepe for Cruise. Right. Brilliant. Right. That you just heard. That was an alert that I set for Stonksy. That was, I'll show you. That was this alert here, which was what I've done there is I've just set the alert on the, I think that's on the 6-minute time frame, and I've set that for a generic background change. Okay, on the 6-minute time frame. And I've told that to do that once per bar. It might be better to do that once per bar close. Otherwise, we're going to have, the notification going every 6 minutes. In fact, more often than every 6 minutes. But what that's all about, it's all about this background here. Let's just move that. It's all about this background here has changed from green to red. Okay. That's not quite what I was looking for. What I was hoping for was a green triangle like what we had then while we had the green background, and we're not getting that at the moment. So to answer you, CD, Bitcoin is I don't know, it's having a bit of a chill at the moment, I would say. It's not seeming to want to go back up to that all-time high again. That may change though, but we'll have to see. We'll talk about that in a bit, because obviously it's It's about an hour and a bit from the New York Open, so we'll see what happens then. Okay, so let's have a look at these other ones for whoever asked. This one was SPX 6900. Is that the one there? Is that the one? Okay, well, I guess it is. Right. Let's just zoom out a little bit, because with these ones that I've not really looked at, I just don't have a clue. I mean, I'm always tempted to turn off Stonksy for a moment just to get more of a clear vision of what's going on. Okay, so this has been around for a while, and that had a all-time high in January 2025, and we had another one a couple last month, and it looks like we're going back up to there. So okay, so that's looking strong, I would say. Let's put Stonksy on. I mean, Stonksy's green on the daily, so that's always a good sign, because it's never been like that ever before. So that's good. Let's just put the momentum oscillator on. Okay, so it's looking bullish, but I think it's going to struggle to get through that next bit, isn't it? If I just turn that off. Okay, so you can see, we've got like a let's just do a horizontal ray. Okay, so we've got this kind of level here, haven't we, that it needs to break through, which is probably more like that. So we're not far off there, are we? Yeah, I certainly wouldn't be long in that right now, but if you're already in a long entry, then I think if we get above that, the fact that it's had like 1, 2, 3, coming in for like the fourth attempt to smash through that. So if that happens, I would say it's probably fairly likely that will go up. I also think that Bitcoin will probably, go for the all-time high again sometime this week. And if that happens, it will probably drag everything up with it as well. So that will all be good. That's my thoughts about that. I'm not very brilliant at TA, by the way, so don't expect too much, and none of this is financial advice, of course. But yeah, that looks interesting though. I mean, I don't know how you're trading that Scottish crypto, but if you've been in it for a while, you're probably doing very, very well, aren't you? Because like from March, up to where we are now, that's up like 400%. So that's like a 5x or something, isn't it? If you are if you are in a position from that long ago, it's almost worth thinking like, shall I take some profit? I would certainly be doing if that was the case. Let me just have a look at a few more comments. Right. Oh, lots of comments. Oh, thank you for everyone coming up. Okay. So, all right, been there. Stella Jennings, smash the likes and roar for the new all-time high. Absolutely. I've been there. Right, been there. All right. Western European for sure. A Western European. Okay, that's yeah. Okay, that's all good. Missed the alert so much. Okay, right. Well, we've got the on for the change in background. It just happened again, so we'll have a look at what that was in a moment. So that okay. All right, Space Cat is in my Telegram group. He's from Portugal, and it's always good to have him here. Very, very loyal fella. Very, 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 very keen to learn and everything. Stella Jennings saying, "I need my car to sound like your alerts." Okay, Bobby, have a great stream, everyone. Okay, Hopefully we will. Memes about to explode finally. Okay. I haven't really got any memes, really. Well, the ones I have are like the TMG ones, like, Chippy and something else that I can't remember. Not a lot, though. Okay, not sure what's going on there. Wish I hadn't faded SPX. Okay. Thanks for update. Hoping for a good entry. I think we should be able to get a good entry quite soon. Actually, I'll go back to that background change in a moment and see what happens. Scottish crypto, yeah, 1.7 going to be super hard to break, but it is a meme, so their time will come. Oh, SPX 9, whatever is that a meme? I don't even know what it is, to be honest. Nick, hi there. Right. My spot holder 0.55 cents average. Okay, cool. Let me just have a look at point. Oh wow, okay. So you're doing great. Okay, brilliant. Right, let's see what that was that we just heard. So I'll go back to Bitcoin. And what it is a change in background color. I'm hoping it's gone from red back to green. That's what I'm hoping. It hasn't. I think it's just still on. Oh, it's because I've got that alert set to do every candle, isn't it? So it'll probably do it again in 2 minutes and 50 seconds. Okay, so we're still just hovering around there. I mean, the fact that it's going sideways and doing nothing much before New York Open, like, can mean anything really, can it? We have got a little green triangle down there, which is a new thing that Dean added. Oh, it's gone now. A new thing that Dean added to the momentum oscillator. I guess that means that there's some sort of, there you go, it's appeared again. Let me just make that bigger. You see, it's that green triangle that kept appearing down there. I need to check what that's all about, unless you can tell me, SMFC, what the little green triangle is, that one there. I guess that means there's going to be some sort of movement upwards, or there's some sort of change in momentum, which would make sense because now we've got like a reasonable size green candle there. Now the thing is, if this goes green, if this background goes green here, I'm going to feel pretty bullish, mainly because if we look at that on the 1 hour time frame, we've been green for a long time now. We are a little bit close to this top of the channel, but nevertheless, it has been long on the 1 hour, which is very reliable, since 6 o'clock on Tuesday morning. So that is a very bullish sign to me. Cool. Okay. Right. So what else can we look at? Okay, so that's Bitcoin. Now this morning when what I did, I was, as I say, I was looking at this 6 minute time frame here, and when I saw it go green then, and that was about an hour or so ago, I did go long on BLOFIN. Now, what I did was I was thinking, well, Bitcoin's really near all-time high, but Ethereum isn't. So I actually went long on Ethereum, and that was a bit of a mistake, actually, because Ethereum didn't really do the same thing. And in fact, Bitcoin didn't really follow it through either. So I am interested in what Ethereum is doing today. So let's just take a quick look at that. And that on the 6 minute, you see that had actually been, green for like a long time. And you can see here that, with the momentum down there, I am expecting some sort of movement upwards. So I think this would be a reasonable time to sort of say that I aren't able to do a poll today, like what Dave does, about the New York Open. So if you can just put in the chat, like, up or down of what you think it's going to do in the first half hour, Bitcoin that is, So if you think Bitcoin's going to go up between New York Open and 30 minutes later, then right up. If you think down, right down. And yeah, that'd be good. Okay, so just going to look at this all-time high thing as well, because there was something that Wizard of Alt pointed out this morning in the crypto saving expert stream. Is if you look at, well, first of all, let's look at Bitcoin US dollar. Okay, so I'll just turn Stonksy off for the moment and just get rid of that thing there. Okay, and let's look at the daily time frame. And you can see here that indeed yesterday we did absolutely get a new all-time high, and it was about just over $112,000, which is incredible, isn't it? I mean, that's just like an enormous amount of money. I'm just going to get a drink. Hang on. Sorry, it was only 2 seconds away, but I've got it now. Okay, so we did get a new all-time high. However, if you look at, say, for example, Bitcoin GBP, right? So against the British pound, we didn't get a new all-time high. The actual all-time high for the British pound was in January. I even thought it would be in May, you know, because that's when the last all-time high was in dollars. And it wasn't in May, it was actually in January, when the price of a Bitcoin was about £89,300. Okay, so that's what it is in GBP. So it is remarkable when you look at that, how much the actual price of the dollar has decreased in just since Trump's been in, really, isn't it? But we can have a look at the actual dollar price in a moment. But so that's BTC GBP, and if you look at BTC against the euro, it is even worse. I mean, it's the same. It's the same kind of chart, but what you're actually looking at there is from where we are today. You know, all-time high is still 11.8% away, and even the all-time high we had last night, which was here, well, that was about the same, really. And even the one in May was actually nowhere near the actual all-time we had in January, which is quite amazing, isn't it? So it is worth bearing that in mind. I mean, obviously the biggest currency is going to be the dollar thing, but it is worth bearing in mind that it hasn't actually got a new all-time high in GBP, euros, and probably many other currencies as well. So that is worth bearing in mind. Let's have a quick look at the comments. Okay, so SPX 6900 is a big meme coin. Okay, fair enough. Right, so the triangle did mean go long. Okay, so I think everything at the moment is pointing to the fact that Bitcoin wants to go up. So it's great to have that there as well. SMFC, by the way, is one of the coders for the Stonksy indicator, and in particular, he's just done a lot of work on the Stonksy momentum indicator. So on the 6-minute, entering on the green arrow, then closing on the red histogram has a nearly 70% success rate. Wow, that's amazing, isn't it? Okay. And by the way, you can actually, if you want to save a few pennies, you can actually subscribe to just the actual momentum oscillator if you want. We'll have a look at the prices in a moment, but you can do that. I wouldn't suggest it. I suggest getting the whole thing, and then you've got everything you need. But if you need to just try out some strategy like that, go long on the green, close on the red triangle, you can do that with just the actual momentum oscillator. Another Dave, how you doing? Brilliant. Have a look at the all-time peaks of the previous bull run and compare, please. Okay. So just make a note of that. Previous peaks. I've got to open the window. Hang on a sec. Might be the odd bit of traffic noise here, but I've decided to go with random traffic noise rather than putting music on in the background. Because the traffic noise isn't particularly optional, and I do need a window open because it's really, really hot today. Okay. Steve in the UK says if I think it will go up. Okay, yeah, good. So do I actually. Right, so SPX 6900 is a meme pushed hard by the influencer Murad. He owns about 15 million of it, but now he's going to dump those bags after a 10x. So be careful, guys. Bit's going to send. Usually follows Pepe, by the way. Okay, all right. And what we got? BPN. Oh, hi there. Good morning. Made 600% on Magic Short thanks to your indicator. Brilliant. Well done. That's amazing. Scottish Crypto saying unemployment numbers just came out lower than expected. Could be a push to the upside coming up. Okay. I didn't actually know there was any news events actually happening today. It normally has like a little flag thingy on TradingView, doesn't it? But there's like, oh, hang on. Was that it? What's that? I've never seen that before. Okay. Yeah, it normally has like a little American flag down there, doesn't it? Yeah, I don't know why. Yeah, I don't know why I didn't see that. Anyway, okay. Anyway, so that's good. So unemployment numbers lower than expected. Is that how it works? Is lower unemployment good? I always thought unemployment was high unemployment was good for crypto. I'm not sure. Let me know if you know. Right, Space Cat, I think USD will be more diluted with the big, beautiful bill. I think you're absolutely right, actually. Yeah. Scottish Crypto, it's even hot up here in Aberdeen. Well, there you go. I must admit, I years and years ago, I was up in, I was with this girl she was from Perth in Scotland. And we went for a day trip up to Nairn Beach, which is up on the Firth of the Forth, I think it is. I must admit, it was like one of the most beautiful beaches I've ever been on in my life. Actually, it was absolutely gorgeous. And she said, "Oh, it's the hottest day of the year." And I was like, "Really? How hot is it?" She went 17 centigrade, and that was it. But having said that, I went to a wedding last year. I went on the 1st of June, and we were up sort of near Dumfries, and I'd taken with me, because it was like a kind of hippie type wedding. Everyone was staying in like yurts and camper vans and tents and stuff like that. So I just had my little pop-up tent, that my daughter bought in Aldi, and that's what I was staying in. So I was prepared for like rain and cold, and all sorts of weather. What I wasn't prepared for was blisteringly hot sunshine. I didn't have like sunscreen or anything with me. It was so lovely. It was amazing. It was brilliant to be in Scotland. That was the best weather I'd ever known in Scotland. But yeah, Aberdeen, that's good. Jeff, are you aware of any discounts for the lifetime membership? I don't think there are any. Let's just have a quick look at the Stonksy page. Right. So stonksy.io is where you will find the Stonksy page. The pricing. Okay. So if you wanted the oscillator just on its own, this is what I was just talking about, and you wanted to trade just using the red and green triangles, for example, and get a 70% win rate, that is just £44 a month, which is a bargain. Or you could go for the monthly one and get 145. Now, I believe we have a discount for that. I'm actually just getting up a little text file that you can't see, which has got the stuff on it, which is all in the description of the live stream, by the way. So you can get 20% off your first month of Stonksy with the code BOT20. That's BOT20, BOT20. So you can get that down to whatever 20% is off that. You can do that. The annual one, if you use, I think my code that I originally had, which is SWC10, so that's like Save the Crypto, SWC10, that gets you 10% off the annual one. Lifetime, I don't know. I can ask, or if Dean is here, SMFC, you can tell me if there is a discount for lifetime. I don't think there is, actually. But yeah, if you're going to get that, yeah, well done, because that's, I mean, to be honest, I when I first got Stonksy last September, in the first month, I was trading with about $1,000. Yeah, it was about $1,000, and I managed to 4x it in about, like, I think it was about 3 or 4 weeks. So I actually managed to make about about $3,500, I think it was. So that is about the same as a lifetime, and I've done it quite a few times since. I won't say that every single trade I do now is entirely based on Stonksy, but a lot of them are, and I certainly use it for a lot of like things where I've had a different idea and I've used the Stonksy to confirm it. But you know, if you want to just religiously follow Stonksy, then you know, that could probably easily pay for itself. And if you think about it, the annual one, that's $999 a year. So 10% off that is like $900, which is, what's that? It's about 80 something a month, which is well cheaper than the monthly. So although that does seem expensive, if you can afford the annual, you know, you paid it for the year, then you can forget about it. And I'm sure during the year you'll definitely earn more than £1,000, as long as you're playing with a reasonable amount of capital. Obviously, if you're only going to play with £100, it might take a little while, but you know, even so, you can probably still do it. So so there is that. Okay, let's go back to the chart. Let's share that. Okay, just have a quick look at the comments again. Yeah, so Jeff, I'll find out. Actually, I think you're in the Discord anyway, aren't you? So you can probably ask someone there. I've generally found that with most things in life, you know, if you don't ask, you don't get. But it's always worth asking, because you never know. Anyway, Scottish, higher is better to encourage rate. Oh, okay, this is the unemployment. So higher unemployment is better. Share the screen. Okay. Right, can anyone hear me? Right, I think I'm back. Am I back? Right, BPN Mega says, hello there. God, I'm so sorry about this. Right. Is anybody left here? I'm so sorry about that. I don't know what's going on. I know that Virgin Media are doing stuff in my area. Okay. Right, BPN Mega says, hello there. Mr. Dowd says, he's back. Right. Can you hear me? Let me just check the sound. Anybody left there? Right. Right, I think we're back on. Oh my God. Hello, Mr. Delta. Yeah, we just had a big outage. I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, on the thing I was monitoring on, computer I was monitoring on, I just saw the buffering thing going round. Yeah, and I've completely forgotten what I was talking about now. I was generally getting an idea of what's going up and what's going down. So far, the consensus in the comments has just been, I think, mostly up. Actually, I don't think anyone thinks we're going down. Right. Mr. Delta says all good, mate. Brilliant. Okay, right. Awesome. I'm so sorry about that. I seem to be plagued by problems. I mean, I've actually used StreamYard a fair bit. Well, not a fair bit. I've probably used it about 20 times, and I've never had any problems until I've started doing stuff on my own, like yesterday and today. And each time I've had some sort of technical issue, and I really don't know what that one just then was all about. Anyway. I'm also showing the wrong chart here, so that's a bit confusing. So let's go back to my Stonksy one. Right, okay. Right, I think I'm getting back to normal. Blimey, that wasn't much fun. I know BPN says don't be sorry, but I am, because obviously I want people to stay here and watch, and I know myself, if I'm watching something and for some technical reason the stream goes off, I'll just go and find something else to watch. Probably something about piranhas or something. Anyway, here we are looking at and for some reason I'm still on the Bitcoin Euro chart. Actually, that's a good point. I don't think you saw this, Mr. Delta, but what I was pointing out was that even though we had an all-time high last night, looking at it on the Bitcoin Euro chart, the actual all-time high was actually in January. So that's interesting to note, isn't it? And what I was going to have a quick look at was the actual price of the dollar compared to the euro. I'll have to look at that with yeah, that one there. And if we zoom out, say like to the weekly, and now when did Trump get in power? It was November, was it? So up until January, and I think then like tariffs started getting talked about, didn't they? And can anyone remember when the tariffs were? I think that was about January, wasn't it? And the actual value of the dollar compared to the euro is down 12% from then. That is phenomenal. That is a hell of a dump, you know. And yeah, so if you're earning euros in Europe and you fancy going to the States, you'll find that your euro goes a lot further than it did. And I don't think that was that Trump's intention? I'm not sure, really. I think the idea was to like devalue the dollar, and then you could cut interest rates, and I don't know, something like that. Anyway, Steve in the UK said he went for a pee and he missed all the excitement. There actually wasn't any excitement at all, Steve. What happened was I don't know. I think it's probably something to do with Virgin Media digging up the fibre outside, and my internet couldn't handle it, and I think I think I was off air for a few minutes, but anyway, we're all back now. But I've completely forgotten what I was talking about. But it is about that time that we should start thinking about the US Open, isn't it? And I think so far everyone was thinking it might go up, but I want to just check again what's going on with Bitcoin. So I'm going to put that back on crypto because I get confused otherwise. And I'm just going to go over here and have a quick look, see what's going on. It's going up a bit, isn't it? Oh, that's the weekly. Let's look more like... Okay, maybe not. Let's put Stonksy back on. Yeah, so you see, I really want to see this 6-minute background go green. It's not. It's just very red at the moment. But I just can't see. The only reason I can see for it going down at the moment is the fact that it went up a lot yesterday, which isn't always a good reason. So, yeah, cool. Right, let's just see. Noticed a few comments here. SMFC, wish you hadn't put that up, mate. I've got a bit too much dollar exposure at the moment. Yeah, I must admit, because in my kind of SEO work that I I don't really do much anymore, but like I do a little bit. And most of my clients are in the States, and they tend to pay me in dollars. And what I do is I invoice them with my TransferWise account, the Wise account, and they pay me in dollars. And I tend to just leave it in the Wise account in dollars, because I always think sooner or later I'm going to need it, because I want to, to pay for some like software or just general stuff like that, like renewing domain names, that kind of thing. And for that reason, I normally just let it build up, and I had about like $3,000 in my Wise account, and I was looking at it the other day thinking, shall I change that into euros for my holiday in Spain next month? And I was thinking that's actually not worth as much as I thought it was. And it is literally like 10% less than I thought it was going to be. So that's a bit annoying, really. But yeah, the only thing to do is to go to the States instead of Spain. But that's like VPN is short from 112, but only light. I kind of wish I'd have done that as well. 112, you did really well. That was the top, mate. You've done that, was superb. That's brilliant work. I'm just going to turn that music down a bit. If I can remember how to do it. Media assets, background music. Just turn it right down. Okay. Just a second. Yeah, 112, brilliant. Really, really good. 100 and... Okay. Well, yeah, 111. Do you actually find these numbers too big to sort of say? Like 111,900. Like, you can't even just go like 1190, can you? It's like, because that's not right. It's like 1,190. Oh, whatever. But yeah, the numbers are too big now, aren't they? So yeah. Cool. Okay, let's have a quick look at the some traditional stuff. So we got Nvidia here. Nvidia yesterday apparently became the first $4 trillion company, which is just absolutely mind-boggling, isn't it? And it was funny what like Block Pro was talking about this morning on Crypto Saving Expert. He was saying that the thing is about crypto, it's tiny. You compare it with like other companies like, I don't know, Apple and Nvidia and Tesla or whatever. That those companies are huge and they've got so much more money than there is in crypto. I mean, it's just phenomenal. And and gold is still way more than crypto. So yeah, that's why we see the volatility, isn't it? Because there's still very small assets that we're playing with. But yeah, Nvidia became a $4 trillion company yesterday, which is incredible, and the pre-market thing's looking high as well, so that's awesome. Meta, for some reason I just have no interest in Meta at all, but that is doing pretty well. Let's zoom out a little bit because these aren't really making much sense on the 6 minute. Meta, yeah, Meta's going for it. These are all going for it, aren't they? Even Amazon's way up there. Microsoft, I know a lot of people are talking about Microsoft on Monday, saying like it's going to do well this week, and it really has, hasn't it? It's done really well. Google doing great. Apple, I believe they're bringing out a new version of the whatever it's called, the virtual thing that goes on your head. Whatever it's called, Google. What's it called? Google. I can't remember what it's called now. But the thing you see all the virtual stuff with, Google Vision Pro, is it? Something like that. They're bringing out a new version of that, and I think that helped the price of Apple stock yesterday. Tesla, I'm not sure what's going on with Tesla. Has Elon had another row with Trump, or is it just the fact that he's setting up his own party now? It's probably just that, isn't it, really? Yeah. Okay. Anyway, let's have a quick look at what everyone's saying. BPN saying, I checked my pension last night. Might cash it in if we get a black swan. Lol. Yeah. I did actually take my old. I used to have an old company pension from when I worked in London, and I actually took it, like, I try not to give my age away here, but I actually took it early, and I think I worked it out that I'm still quids in. This is ignoring inflation. I'm still quids in unless I live longer than 70. But I didn't really take into account. I didn't take into account inflation or anything like that. And my thinking is like, well, basically I just had to pay the mortgage, and I didn't have a very good job at the time, and I just needed the money, really. So I actually took my pension early. I didn't do much with it though, apart from like pay off a mortgage, really, which I suppose was kind of a good move, really. That was quite a few years ago when when I think Bitcoin probably did exist, but I didn't know anything about it. Yeah. Might get half a Bitcoin. The thing is, would you buy half a Bitcoin at the price it's at now? I don't think I would. I think I would wait. I'd certainly wait until it goes below 100 again. But do we think it's going to go? Actually, let me know in the chat. Let me know how low you think Bitcoin will go in the next bear market. I personally think it would be about 50 grand. But I'll be interested to know what everyone thinks. But yeah, having a half a Bitcoin would be nice, wouldn't it? SMFC says, it's funny that stat about Nvidia. The Dutch East India Company was estimated to be worth 8.3 trillion at its peak. Totally dwarfs modern day companies. The Dutch East India, what do they do? It's weird how the biggest company that might have been worth 8.3 trillion, I've never heard of. Mind you, there's a lot of things I've never heard of. Interesting. At its peak in... Oh, I see. Okay, so that's what it would have been worth. Yeah, I got you. Okay. Yeah, that's the other thing as well. Like, Nvidia being worth 4 trillion now, that would have only been, 3.8 trillion at Christmas, like last Christmas. So, yeah. Mr. Delta, I opted out of the state pension. Now have an extra year. Extra year. Okay. I was thinking 50k. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. Definitely. If it goes down to 50k, I'd probably think myself about selling a few things, maybe some traditional assets if they're still worth something, like stocks and stuff. If the price went down there again, because if it goes down to 50k, it's probably going to come back to 100 at some point. In the next bull market, whenever that will be. So yeah. An extra 36k. Okay. That's about your pension, isn't it? Yeah. An extra 30. Oh, you mean you got an extra 36k by not opting into the government pension thing? Okay. I will get the government pensions. I tell you what, a weird thing is I lived abroad for quite a few years, but if I put my details into the government site to check my pension contributions, I've actually got all the ones I need, which I find incredible, actually. Yeah. Oh, so the India thingy was spices and stuff. Yeah, I can imagine that being like a massive business, because like in the olden days, like in Victorian times, if you had like a lot of like sugar, you were like one of the wealthiest people in the world, weren't you? and other less savoury things too. Cool, excellent. Right, let's go back to the chart. So that's Tesla. Tesla, I don't know what it's doing. Does Stonksy give any clues on that? Yeah, Stonksy's been short on Tesla for most of this week, actually. So yeah, there's obviously something going to happen there. I have got some Tesla stock, and it is actually worth less than I paid for it. I think I paid about $3.12 or something for it. So I am sort of thinking of like doubling down on it, because to me, a good strategy seems to be when Elon and Donald have a row, you buy Tesla, and when they make up, you sell it. That seems to be my strategy, but I didn't actually realize it was going to go ahead and actually create this the American Party, or whatever it's called. By the way, someone did point out that the American Party, I think that's what it's called, is TAP, which is TAP, and some people who actually own XTP, which is the token of TAP protocol, which is actually worth a fraction of what it was worth a couple of years ago. Some people have kind of, thought about the fact that people might actually buy TAP thinking it's something to do with Elon's party. I can't see it myself, actually, because it's not really available on any exchanges that anyone's ever heard of, so I can't really see it happening at the moment, but I don't know, it's a possibility. Anyway, I've got a pile of TAP because I'm a stupid bag holder. I thought it was going to go up to the moon, it didn't, but now I'm bag holding. So there's that. Brilliant. Right. Anyway, that's Tesla. Coinbase has been doing great, hasn't it? And I've heard a lot of people say that, if the US government are going to get properly involved with crypto, then they've got to have some sort of like intermediate kind of thing between fiat and crypto, to transfer them dollars into Bitcoin or whatever. And the obvious choice is going to be Coinbase, isn't it? I mean, some people have speculated it could be crypto.com, but I can't see it myself because they're like based in Singapore or whatever. But Coinbase is like as an American as you get, isn't it? I think that's a completely like US based company. So I actually think Coinbase is going to do really well. I haven't got any. Don't know why, but I just haven't really. So that's all looking pretty good. Some of like Wiz's ones here. This one's called Serve Robotics. This one goes up and down quite nicely. That might be something worth noting down. Then you've got things like Palantir, which is always doing pretty well. The Trade Desk, which is another one that goes up and down quite nicely. Yeah, and a few others. Okay, so let's go back to Bitcoin as well. I read some more comments, and let me just zoom out, put that on the 6 minutes while I'm waiting for something to happen. So this is the bit where I want my alert to happen for the background change. So, Space Cat, did you see the Xiaomi Su 7 Ultra? 75k, 1050 HP. That thing can blow up Tesla in a matter. Xiaomi, is that a car? Oh, was that, yeah, obviously a car. Oh, I see. 1050 horsepower. 75. Oh, I see. 75,000 bucks or something. Xiaomi Su 7. Might have to have a look at that. Xiaomi Su 7. All right. So this is it. Xiaomi Su 7, a revolutionary EV experience. Xiaomi Su 7, the latest addition to our electric vehicle lineup. Brings a whole new level of innovation and performance to the table. The only thing is I've had a few Xiaomi phones and they're actually really good. You know, you actually get a lot of tech for your money. But then after a year or so, they kind of stop working because like things either fall off them or they stop working or the battery dies. Or you actually realize that the actual build quality of it isn't that good. So if if you drop one, for example, the screen is likely to break, whereas like an iPhone will bounce. I must admit, very nice looking cars though. Yeah. Right. Yeah, I might have to look into them. They actually look like Teslas as well, don't they? Yeah, nice. Oh, see, 700 kilometers. That is 700 kilometers. That is London to Glasgow, isn't it? I think easily on one charge. That's pretty amazing. Yeah. Yeah, interesting. They do look good, I must admit. I like them wheels. I like that colour as well. So where do they make them? Obviously in China, isn't it? Yeah, I think if I didn't know, if I'd never owned a Xiaomi phone, then I'd be really interested in them. But the fact that I've owned the phones and they're like good for, they're really good for like the first year or two, and then they just become a bit crap, you know. Anyway, yeah, interesting though. There's a little bit of conversation. I mean, the Chinese market are very strong. Yeah, I mean, the Xpeng cars. I mean, I looked at those things, and they're just like they're amazing. They look fantastic as well, and I think that's quite an interesting company as well. Sounds like a new phone. Yeah, I know what you mean. That's what I almost thought. Like, because you think like a Samsung Ultra or something. So a Xiaomi Su 7 Ultra sounds like it sounds like a phone, doesn't it? It'd be funny if you charged it up with like micro USB, wouldn't it? It's in an event on Bybit. I've got to look into the Bybit thing because I know you can do the stock stuff with Bybit, but I haven't really tried it at all. But I must do that. A fake Tesla, yeah. Well, yeah. Although to be fair, I mean their phones, their phones was kind of. I think they were using like the same cameras as what they use in like Samsung phones or something. But the photos were really good. Um, Xpeng is another good bet. Yeah, that's the ones I was talking about. SCW, that's my brother actually. I'm SWC. Do you have a remote that beeps noises? I miss Dave's foot massage noises. What have I got? No, I haven't really. I haven't got anything that beeps. I can play a few harmonics on my guitar, I suppose. I could go. That's not going to be a beep, but that's not really a beep. No, it's not going to work, is it? No, I can't help you there, unfortunately. I haven't got a massager. SWC. Yeah. Oh, that's me. Yeah. Okay. No, I haven't got a foot massager. My feet seem to be okay. I think he gets a bit reliant upon it, though, doesn't he? Sort of like he can't do a stream unless he's got his feet in his feet massager. So I don't want to get reliant on a foot massager. Having said that, I've never used one. It might be amazing. Anyway, so that's all good. What else have we got here? So, notice that XRP did all right yesterday, didn't it? Is that going to do anything amazing? That's been brilliant as well on Stonksy on the 6 minute as well, isn't it? Okay, so let's have a look at the old liquidation heat map thingy. That's normally about the time of day to do that, isn't it? Okay, so here we are on coinglass.com. That's on the 1 day chart. I mean, it's exactly what you'd expect, isn't you? Like up here at 112, actually that's 112, that's nearly 113. Nearly 113,000. Got a big chunk of liquidity up there. And then, as you'd expect, a chunk of it down 110, which is about $600 south of where we are now. There's a chunk there. And more at like 109. It's pretty much exactly how you'd expect, really. So, you know, we're just going to chop around this range until we shoot off somewhere. Now, what I've never understood with this is like exactly what it means when you look at it on different time frames, because it just kind of squashes it up more, doesn't it? So, you know, is there any point looking here at like what the liquidity was like yesterday? Because it's today that you're concerned with, isn't it? I don't know. And once again, I've always had this problem where if that is just showing orders on the order book, then that isn't what moves price. That's just orders sitting on the order book. And the price doesn't actually have to go there. And there's probably massive orders down at like 10k as well, which will never ever get filled. Well, maybe they will one day, but not just yet. So yeah, cool. All right. Thanks for all the comments. 30 minutes till open strings. Okay. Yeah, I might have to go and have a look around town, have a look in the charity shops and things, and see if I can find like a bell or something. I mean, I don't actually know what the actual bell that they have. I mean, does it exist anymore? I mean, I know like on the trading floor in like New York, you would have had some sort of big bell. I know there was one in London that was like just like a bell, like a church bell. I think it was about like a meter diameter that somebody used to go and ring every day. I only know that because I've got a friend who actually had rung it for some reason. That he was very proud of the fact. But anyway, I'm not going to get one that big. But and I want one a bit more manly than Dave's one, because that's a little bit tinkly, isn't it? You know, I want more of like a dong, you know, more like a cowbell, you know, like a one that goes around a cow's neck. That'd be quite good. Anyway, let's put this chart on. This is back on the Bitcoin one. I might alter this a little bit just before the New York Open. I so want to see a green background here. Really do. Because I do think it's going to go up. I really do. But maybe it won't. I don't know. Anyway. Right, another one from Space Cat. Space Cat's busy today. Like you can't go on a social event without a smoke. God, I need to break that habit. Oh, you don't smoke, do you? I think, why does anyone smoke these days? I mean, I could never see the point of smoking. It's like, I did do it like myself years and years ago, but like, I look back and think, why did I ever do that? I mean, you don't get, it doesn't give you a hit or anything. It just makes you unhealthy. And to be honest, a lot of friends I've had in the past who've been like smokers all their life, they're all dead now. And even a lot of the stoners, they're a lot of my old stoner mates are dead now as well. But anyway, so yeah, don't smoke. It's a rubbish thing to do. I've drank a lot of booze in my life, and I don't do that very much at all now. But at least that's sort of enjoyable at times, and But smoking's rubbish. It just makes you smell and makes you unhealthy. Anyway, Stella Jennings saying, I have the same foot massager that Dave has. It's amazing. Also, how did you get your portion of the care package? Also, did you get your portion of the care? I did get a little bit of swag from that Dave sent me. I didn't get a foot massager. I did want to get the this is all the stuff on Crypto Saving Expert. I'll show you actually if I got time. Let me just find it. Merch. There you go. So I was really, really hoping I'd get a T-shirt like that, but they'd run out, so I didn't get one of those. I did get a couple of random T-shirts, but they're nothing to do with Bitcoin or anything like that. He did send me a hoodie actually, which is really good. And I've got one of these Bitcoin coffee cups. That was good. What I really wanted was one of those logos there, because I thought like one day I'll actually turn the camera on, and when I do that, I'll have that in the background. But I think they'd run out of those as well. And yeah, the T-shirts have run out. I did want to get the Raspberry Pi make your own hardware wallet as well. I thought that'd be a really good thing to do, like to make a video about how to make a Bitcoin hardware wallet, well, crypto hardware wallet. I thought that'd be really good, but I think they'd ran out of those. So yeah, so the swag I got, I think it was I got a T-shirt, a hoodie, a mouse mat, and something else. I can't remember now. Oh yeah, the water bottle thing. Water bottle I gave to my daughter. She really loves that, and she's also got a hoodie as well, because there was some spare ones in a very small size. So she's got one of those. So that's all cool. If you do want, actually, if you want to join Crypto Saving Expert, it's normally I think it's like, can't remember now. It's like normally like 80 quid a month, but if you use the code, which is in the description down below, which I'll just remind myself of. Hang on a sec. So Crypto Saving Expert, if you use the code BTC80, you get 80% off. That's forever. So it actually only costs you 20 quid a month, which is a 5 quid a week. And that will give you access to the Discord, where there's people like Block Pro. And I think for that, I think you get a free bit of training with Block Pro, like 1-to-1, I think. But you certainly get the live things he does every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. He does like an hour or so talking about the charts, and I actually find that really, really useful. Sadly, he's been on holiday for the last week or so he hasn't actually been around doing that. But I believe he will be getting back into that next Monday. And there is some like really, really good stuff in there. You know, there's really good ways of like looking at the chart, and he's just got a different way of approaching everything, really. And I found it really useful. So yeah, do check it out, Crypto Saving Expert. And that code, whatever I said, what was it? No, hang on, it's in the description down below, but the code is BTC80. So BTC as in Bitcoin, BTC80 on cryptosavingexpert.com. So that's pretty cool. Right, Bitcoin is now looking a little bit more lively. That's good. That's what I want to see. And we are at 1427. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to have a split chart. I might have to just move a few indicators to get rid of that. That's going to confuse you. And let's just reset that. Let's just turn off that moving average thing. Let's just do a reset with that. And then I'll just remove them moving averages to clear it up a little bit. And I'm going to leave that one there on the 1 minute. This one here, I'm going to, what should we have? Should we have the S&P 500? Let me do that. What have we done? Right. Oh, There you go, S&P 500, which is going up, isn't it? So that's all pretty good. And I suppose it would make sense to put Stonksy on, although bear in mind this is only the 1 minute time frame. So 1 minute there for Bitcoin. And I just save that. And then on the S&P 500, let's put that on the 1 minute as well. And yeah, 1428. Let me just have a quick look at the chat. Saucepan and a wooden spoon. Okay. Not sure what you mean there, Kaz. Okay. No, the swag. Oh, I see. Okay. So I should put these on the screen, really, shouldn't I? So we can. Who is the old guy cartoon in the thumbnail? Looks like a proper PDF. Right, that's supposed to be me. That is. What I did was I sent Issa, who's the guy who does the thumbnails for Crypto Saving Expert and Stonksy and all that. I sent him a picture of me when I was on holiday in Tenerife. So, you know, just sort of like quite a generic photo with me with sunglasses on. And then he said, oh, it's too pixelated, I can't use that. I mean, the idea was to make a cartoon one like what he does with Dave. And so he used some sort of AI type thing. There you go. Moo! Raw. Right. The market is open, and Bitcoin is it's going down. Go on, go up. Yeah, so he couldn't use the photo I sent, so he used some sort of AI thing. So I think he just put in some sort of like, you know, bloke with sunglasses. And yesterday the version of it was looking all right. So I looked a bit like Brian Adams, I thought, who's, you know, quite a handsome fella, and his hair looked a bit blonde, you know. And then today's one, it looked a bit weird because I said, you know, make the thumbnail look confused, you know. And he's got like very grey hair, and it's like, no, I think it does look like an old bloke. Anyway, I hope I don't look that old, but you'll find out one day. If I get 100 likes on a video on a live stream, I will put the camera on, and you'll know what I look like. Maybe depends how much I cover up, but. Okay, so Bitcoin's it's having a little wobble. Okay, don't know why that is. Maybe that is something to do with the unemployment stuff. You know, people actually realise that it's not so good. It's Jeffrey. I don't know who Jeffrey is. Instead of a bell, cheap version. Yeah, I know. I'll get a bell. Guitar and I'm ready. Okay. Right. Well, that's okay. Well, to be honest, I mean, that is fairly typical of what happens, isn't it, at 2:30? You know, Bitcoin will be going one way, and all of a sudden it'll just decide to go the other way, and then by 3 o'clock it will have sorted itself out. Let's just pop Stonksy on there. So let's put both of these on the 6 minute. Okay, that one and that one. Right, so the S&P 500 on the 6 minute has actually been green since Tuesday, and on Bitcoin it has been red since this morning. But that's not a fun candle, is it? I don't think it's particularly tradable at the moment in my mind, because we just seem to be like, you know, meandering around here with no particular direction. How does that look with that trend line I was looking at? Let's have a look. Oh. You see, this morning, I know that Math over in my Telegram group, he was looking at this kind of, bull pennant idea here. So that would have been something like that. I always have a bit of a problem with these things because I always think you can just draw them how you like and you can almost see anything in them. But if you're going to say that broke out one way or the other, I would say that's broken to the downside. Yeah, but not that violently at the moment. Not really. Yeah, I don't know. Let's leave it a little bit, see what happens. So I was hoping to do some kind of trading. I'm a bit wary to open up the exchanges again though, because I think that might have been what might have made the stream crash before, because I had Bybit open and I had BLOFIN open, both with the charts up, and I just wonder if that was just like getting a bit too much from the computer. I mean, it was getting a bit warm, but nothing out of the ordinary. Anyway, SWC looks like that guy from the espresso commercial. Trust my sources. I don't know. Don't know which one that is. Go back to the blonde dude. Yeah, I don't actually have any control over it really. Well, I suppose I could. I could actually say, "Can you make me blonde again?" Actually, my hair is going a bit grey actually. But anyway, that could be me. I did think it looked like Brian Adams, and I didn't have to burst into Summer of '69. And Banana 31. What's Banana 31? I have no idea what you're talking about there. BPN? No idea at all. Okay. Oh, come on, do something. Let's go down a time frame. 5 minute, 3 minute. Let's get the oscillator back. Okay, now what I was looking at before, wasn't I? I was looking at the 1 hour time frame, and this green line here was still right up the top there. So it's not actually started to come down much. Maybe we will drop, but there again, if you look at it, something like this 12-minute time frame, you got the price coming down there, you got a little green triangle there. Let's have a look at a green triangle in the past. Okay, there's one there. So that green triangle happened there, then you see when that started going pink there, that was really nice because the price went all the way up to here. Let's find another one. There was a green triangle once again when we had the red down the bottom. That was quite nice for picking out this bottom here. And then up the price went. Yeah. But I suppose in a way, what you want to see is that red to come down and probably like, you know, grind along the bottom for a bit, like what it did here, and then go up. What do you think? Maybe that is just the first half hour sort of, you know, madness on opening. Let's have a look. What's going on? New shorts. Okay. George Clooney. I haven't actually met George Clooney, but I used to live in the same ski resort where he used to like going on holiday, and a friend of mine used to own the chalet where we liked to go and stay, and it's always quite cool actually, because there'd be something like a, you know, Ferrari outside or whatever, you know, some sort of nice car, and Mr. Clooney was there, and of course, like all the girls in the valley were saying, "Oh, George Clooney's around," so they'd all be sort of like lurking around up the mountain, hoping to get a glimpse of him, and yeah, it's quite cool. Yeah. So what is this doing? Is that traffic sound too noisy? I just think it's a better alternative than that sort of music. It keeps me cool having the window open as well. So maybe I'm looking at this wrong. Let's turn Stonksy off and then have a look, see what else we can see. Because now that's not looking like a pennant to me. That's looking more like it's almost a parallel channel, isn't it? If you like patterns. Where do I get that from? It's there, isn't it? Okay. Not really, is it? See, at a glance, I was thinking, is that doing something like that? And that's not right, is it? Not that. Yeah. And that's my problem with patterns, is that I just think you can just draw anything you like, and, you know, for example, like that bit there, is that the same as this thing here? You know, I suppose that's the sort of thing where people say, oh, that's a diamond pattern, you know, that's like a reversal diamond pattern, you know, like that. Sorry, it wasn't. Let's draw it. You know, a lot of people talk about these sort of like diamond patterns like that, and they say, oh, that's a reversal, really. But, you know, is it? I mean, I just think you can see anything into anything. I do agree, though. You know, if it goes up like that, the chances are it might come back down. Let's just find another example. Keep doing that. Actually, I think my computer is slowing down a bit. It seems to be going a bit jerky and stuff. You see that there? That could easily be just like this, couldn't it? You know, where it went up, went sideways for a bit, and then went up even more. So this oscillator at that point, that was, yeah, that's different though, isn't it? See, that's gone up here. See, that's gone up there, and then you would think, you know, with that oscillator in the overbought bit there, you would actually think, okay, well, that's going to come down at some point. It didn't. It carried on going up. Now, the fact that we're up there again, I don't know. There's still a possibility it could go up, you know. Yeah. Let me know what you think. SW's. Oh, what did I say? SWC, always the best stories. Thank you. Yeah, I do like telling a story actually, and I seem to have lots of them. So yeah, well, thank you for saying that. That's really nice. Mr. Delta, what are you doing this weekend? Why is that? Have you got a gig? If you have, yeah, I suppose I could come up and see you. Maybe. We'll talk later. Okay, I'll assume that means yes. Mr. Delta does play drums in a band, and we used to play in a band together as well back in France. So we do know each other. So Math is saying the sim is saying. Oh, let me show it. Right, Math. The simpler patterns probably make sense in context of what else is happening. Trouble is, Bitcoin is so manipulated. Might work better on other charts. Yeah, let's have a look at Ethereum. They're all the same chart. Is everything the same? What's Solana like? Solana's the same. Everything is the same. Sui. Actually, Sui's doing really well. Is anybody trading Sui? I have tried myself in the past, but it's always a bit tricky. Stella Jones, did my comment not show up about the 1 hour chart? I don't think I saw it actually. There is quite a big list of words that you can't use in the comments that I have no control over. You need to avoid certain words that, if you imagine all those spam comments you get, like the ones where like Mr. Thingy is the best trader I've come across and I make 4 Bitcoins a week or whatever. If you think about all them words that are in comments like that, a lot of those ones are kind of banned. And what happens is you put the comment in, and then if you refresh the page, you'll see it just disappears. I don't think I can see your comment, so you might have to say it again, but maybe reword it slightly. I don't think it's there. Okay, so Mr. Delta, Friday, Saturday. Oh, you got 3 gigs. Bloody hell. Okay, all right. Have you checked your token.pump.fun? I've never actually used pump.fun ever, and so unfortunately I'm not eligible for any of those airdrops or anything. So yeah, unfortunately. Stella Jennings, a question about the oscillator update. 1 hour chart. Oh, there you go. 1 hour chart has the price down, but oscillator has a green bar. Okay, let's have a look. I assume we're talking about Bitcoin. So change that to Bitcoin. No, I assume that you're on the other version of this, because in the settings you can show slope strength, or you can show directional gradients. Let's change it to that one. I think that's what you might mean. Okay, so you said 1 hour chart has a price down, but oscillator has a green bar. Do you mean a histogram bar? Because I can't see one. Let me just try a different exchange. Oh, okay. That's the index chart. So as far as I know, the green bar implies that there could be a change in momentum, which would be positive. Okay. So, say for example, looking back here, when we had the green bars here, that was obviously a very sort of positive thing there. When we had the one here, oh, that was as well, yeah. Okay. So, yeah, I see what you're saying. So that does seem positive, but at the same time, the fact that you've got the actual oscillator at the top there, I believe that means it's kind of overcooked a little bit. So I think at the moment it's all a bit undecided, I would say. I think what I need actually, I need a bigger screen so I can have the StreamYard control panel on like one bit of the monitor, so I can like flick through the comments, and then the actual one that we're talking about on like a different window. I think that's what I might do. I might go and get a big monitor actually over the weekend, and get like a big I don't know, like a 40-inch monitor or something. So I think that would be good for doing these streams, because at the moment I'm having to flick between tabs quite a bit. Okay. So Desperados, excuse for that. What are you excusing? No idea. Hello to you. Hello. SMFC, what data source are you using, Stella? The data source does make a difference. And it's not, I do tend to use the index chart quite a bit, but quite often I use the one that I'm trading on, and quite often that's Bybit, because I think Bybit has quite a lot of data. Okay, so Stella was using 1 hour BLOFIN chart on the perps. Okay, which I often use as well. SMFC saying, oh yeah, I can see that. It's a faint bar at the moment. It might flip, but I'd wait for a darker color. Because yeah, the bars here, they do work on gradients. So like the stronger the color, the more severe the effect, and you can see that here, like, quite intense green there, and up we went. And at the moment, actually, this one's looking fairly good. I still think it's going to bounce. I really do. I hope so, anyway. Okay. Stella, so it's indicating there is a possible change in the price direction. I think that's what it means. 34s are good. What was that in relation to? What were you talking about? Okay, I don't quite know what you mean by that. Oh, sorry, monitors. Oh yeah, 34, 34-inch, a curved one. Yeah, I'm actually more inclined to get like a big flat rectangular one, because I like the idea of not just having stuff side by side on the monitor, but having like up and down as well. So, for example, I might just choose to use like 2 or 3 browsers side by side down the bottom, but at the same time I might want to have just like a couple more windows at the top. For other things I just need to keep a vague eye on, but I won't necessarily look at all the time, so there's that, really. I also think as well, because I'm not a gamer and I just don't play games at all, and so I don't actually need the really quick response time. And I'm actually wondering if I can get away with like a big TV, like a 4K TV. In fact, there's like an 8K one I've been looking at that's might be a bit over the top, but you know, that might be a possibility as well. But yeah, some sort of big 4K monitor with just like a big flat rectangular screen would be fine. My desk is only I think it's, what is it? I think it's 1.20 meters wide. So obviously it can't be ginormous because it's not the biggest desk in the world, but not bad. But yeah, I might do that because I think it's going to make these live streams a lot easier. So SMFC is saying, yes, Stella, it's trying to add a bit more reactivity to the oscillator. Okay. Prime weekend on Amazon as well. Oh, that's a good point, actually. Yeah. So it might be worth getting a bargain. Yeah, good. Thank you for that. Yeah, I shall look at that. So the official Musk. Okay, I assume that's a wallet address of some sort. Pump after a healthy correction. Musk is ready to explode and soar to a new level. Okay. I'm not going to look at that on the stream, okay? Because I think you need to be careful with things like that. Salah saying, so when the price action is going up and a red bar shows, does that indicate a potential reversal to the downside? And SMFC says spot on. Okay, let's read that again. The price action is going up and a red bar shows, does that indicate potential reversals to the downside? Okay, so let's have a look at an example of that. So what would be a good example? So yeah, I suppose here, you know, the price was generally going up, but you had these few like red bars down there when the price did pull back. That makes sense. But at the moment, we haven't got anything, have we? So that's looking good to me. And are we still? Yeah, we're still red on the 6 minute. I think this is going to be interesting to see what happens here after like 3 o'clock. And I have noticed as well, you know, when I've been watching Dave's show or when I've been on with Dave, that sometimes, you know, the minute we shut the stream at 3 o'clock, the price does something, you know, fairly well, not exactly what we've been looking at for the last 2 hours, you know. I think 3 o'clock UK is an important time. That kind of end of the Brinks box, I think they call it in the New York market. Okay. Your monitor. Oh yeah. Yeah, it's funny. You start talking about something and then you know, you hear something about 34 is good and you think, what's he talking about? But yeah. Got a bounce. Oh, I'll see you later, Mr. Delta. Stella, will we ever see a point where the bisexual will be going down and the oscillator will print a red bar? I'm not sure what you mean by that. Will we ever see the point where the something will be going down and the oscillator will print a red bar? Would that mean continued downside? Okay. Wow, voice text. That was supposed to say, oh, oscillator. Okay. Right. Okay. Will we ever see a point where the oscillator will be going down and the oscillator will print a red bar? The oscillator will be going down and the oscillator will print a red bar. Let's have a look. So the oscillator going down. And it will print a red bar. Yeah, that's what it did here. Oh, that's a 6. Let's just look at the 1 hour. So, for example, here, you've got the oscillator going down, as you said. Let's just turn off this for a moment. So that is implying that the momentum is getting weak. So you would expect the price to come down a bit, but you've got a red bar there. Yeah, I must admit, I don't know exactly. I don't quite understand your question, actually. And that's probably not a very good example, is it? Because there's very few bars on the way down. But where we are now, see, we now on the hourly, we've got that fairly strong green bar there. So does that mean that we've got? I think at the moment it just means Bitcoin doesn't know what it wants to do at the moment. Let's just see if SMFC said anything. Okay. Yeah, so that text to speech. How could oscillator come out as bisexual? Oscillator bisexual. Now, don't get it. I say SMFC saying, but yeah, that's really unlikely to happen. Yeah, so I don't think I was actually looking at the right thing there. You could see a pink oscillator like print a red background. Oh, we see you mean the background. Got you. Okay. You could see a pink oscillator line print a red background, but double red would be unusual. Okay. Oh, wow, it did. Egg on my face. Okay, I think he's asking if it would work like double confirmation on the background and the arrow on the price chart version of Stonksy. Oh, I see. Okay. We just need SMFC to complete full explainer. So all we do is print money. Got to run. Have a good day. All right. See you later, Jeff. I think it's Jeff, isn't it? That's who Stella Jennings is. SMFC, I'm going to have to come back on. Yeah, that'd be really nice if you did, actually, because I must admit, there's some bits of the oscillator I'm not quite getting myself, actually. Like at the moment, what am I looking at there? Am I looking at Stonksy being the Bitcoin being oversold? I would say that is. So you would expect the price to come down, but then you've got the green histogram bars there. Now I can see why the red ones there might have just implied that the price comes down a bit there, and then also there, which it didn't particularly. Okay, does that mean we're possibly looking at going back up again now? Like, for example, what it did here, where it went up just like a little bit. I mean, that's what would make sense to me, as if we kind of, went up a little bit more, went along sideways for a bit, this kind of reset a little bit, and then later on, this one bangs up to the top side, and then at that point we go upwards. That's the sort of thing I would expect to see, maybe, with that sort of like oscillator movement. A little bit like what happened here, really. So you've gone along there, dipped a little bit like what we're doing here, then went sideways for a bit and then took off. Yeah, that's what I'd be looking at. Yeah, it'd be really cool if if you wanted to pop on the stream at some point, we can have a chat about it again, because I think there's no harm in you know, talking about these things quite a lot, really. But yeah, cool. Yeah, that's how I read that. Brilliant. All right. Do you take requests for alts today? I've actually run out of time now, but if you want to come back tomorrow, I can certainly do that. But I think for the moment, I'm going to have to love you and leave you. I forgot to send all the links for everything, but you'll find everything you need in the description down below. But the main things you need to know is, if you want to sign up for BLOFIN, there's the link there. Now, if you use that link, you do get the same fees as what you would get if you were VIP 1. And I also believe, don't quote me on this, but I believe at the moment, BLOFIN don't know how to make that only last for 1 month. So if you actually use that link, you get the VIP 1 fees you're paying. You'll actually be paying that for life, I believe, which is pretty amazing. If you want to get Stonksy, this is the link to Stonksy. And if you use the code BOT20, BOT20, then you get 20% off your first month. Also, if you want to go for the annual one, if you use my code, I'm pretty sure this still works. I might have to confirm this, but SWC10 gets you 10% off the annual fee. Okay. And what else? And if you want to join Crypto Saving Expert, you can get that for an amazing 80% off if you use the code BTC80. So that works out like 20 quid a month. And you have access to the Discord and everything there. And it's very, very cool. Right, I'm going to say goodbye. And thank you very much for everyone for coming along. Please do give the stream a like before you leave. And if you've got anything you want to say, then either get hold of me in the Discord, or you can, I suppose you can leave a comment on this video and I'll come back and try and look for it. I am actually intending on doing a live stream myself in about an hour and a half's time with Math the Coder, which will be over on my YouTube channel, which is called Saber Crypto. So if you want to come over there, I'll be there in about an hour and a half. Okay. Meanwhile, I'm going to let my computer cool down a bit, and hopefully that will be all good for then. Okay. So I'll just play a few nice little chords, and then I can go. So thanks for everyone for coming along. And as Space Cat says, above all, tell your friends.